trading was just about strategy, everyone using the same system would get the same results every time, but they don't. You can give two traders an identical, repeatable, mechanical strategy, and one will grow the account while the other slowly destroys it. The difference isn't the strategy, it's the person operating that strategy. The mistake I see all the time with traders that I work with is they are overloading their brains with too many decisions in the moment, and your brain cannot handle that, especially with money on the line. So this is what happens to your brain when you force it to make too many decisions in the moment. So here, you're considering your entry procedure. It's not predetermined, it's not exact. And you see it takes my concentration to toss this ball up in the air. And I'm fighting trying to look at the camera doing this. And then you add a second decision. Where does my stop loss go? I'm not sure. You haven't back tested it properly. It's not predetermined. And when it comes to an exit procedure, trying to juggle all these things at the same time, it just all falls apart. Anyone who says psychology in trading doesn't matter usually falls into one of two camps. Either they don't actually trade, or they have a naturally stable mind. And if you're watching this, chances are you've already felt it. You already know what to do and still do the opposite when your emotions kick in. Let me ask you something. If psychology doesn't matter, then why do the biggest businesses and systems in the world spend billions on understanding and unfortunately influencing human behavior? It's because psychology works. So if psychology can influence what you buy, your views, why wouldn't it influence what you do with money under pressure in the most chaotic environment in the world, the markets? I didn't become profitable by studying more strategies. I became profitable by studying how great people in the field think. People like Paul Tudor Jones, or great books like Trading in the Zone, which focuses mostly on psychology. A lot of people struggle with mindset work because it sounds vague or woo-woo. They hear reframe your identity, become a different trader, think like a professional, like it's that easy, right? And it does feel abstract and unrealistic and sometimes fake. So they dismiss it, even though identity is already shaping our behavior on a day-to-day basis. Here's the thing, you already do this in everyday life. When you're at work, you behave one way. When you're with your partner, you behave another way. When you're with your friends, another. You don't go round your grandparents' house swearing every other word. But when you're with your friends, your language will be a little bit looser. And you're not being fake. You're adapting your behavior to the situation that you're in. Trading is no different. Unfortunately, most people show up to the markets wearing the wrong mask. So instead of trying to change who you are, we're going to decide consciously which version of you shows up to trade. Now, this is a simple exercise you can use again and again, not just today, but long term. I want you to imagine that there's a version of you in a parallel universe. Same opportunities, same intelligence, same background. The only difference is this version of you is disciplined, consistent, and profitable. And I guarantee you already know how this version of you behaves. So from now on, every time you deviate from your plan, I want you to stop and ask, should I be doing this right now? And ask that version of yourself, what should I do right now? Should I be doing this? And I guarantee you, they will always give you the right answer because you already know what to do. You just need to work on doing it in the moment. Now, I'm going to put 5 questions on the screen. Pause the video. I'd like you to answer them. Then when we come back, we will go through the answers. Okay, question 1, risk. How much do you risk on a single trade and why? Answer, I risk a small fixed amount that I can emotionally tolerate, an amount that allows me to execute the next trade without hesitation, regardless of outcome. Why does this matter? Because if a risk affects your emotions, it will affect your execution. Question 2, losses. What do you do immediately after a losing trade? Answer, nothing. I log it, accept it, and wait for the next valid setup. Losses are part of the distribution. They're not a problem to fix. Question 3, daily structure. What does your trading day actually look like from start to finish? Answer, I trade a defined session with a clear start and a clear stop time. When my rules say I'm done, I'm done. Question 4, emotion. When you feel excited, frustrated, or impatient, what do you do? Answer, I don't trade, or I reduce size. Emotion is information, not a signal to act. Question 5, priority. What matters more, today's P&L or following your process? The answer is obvious, it is the process, always. And here's the interesting part. I already knew in the ballpark figure of what you would write, because I already know, you know what to do. You just need a way of controlling which version of you shows up to the market. The problem with trading isn't knowledge. It's about being able to access and control your behavior under extreme amounts of pressure. And most traders put themselves under far too much pressure, way more than they need to. So from now on, every time you feel yourself slipping into gambling mode, stop and ask that version of yourself in that parallel universe, should I take this trade? And I guarantee you, you'll get the right answer. If you enjoyed this video, part 2 will be out next week. And if it's already out, click the link above. We'll be covering how to build a stable trading strategy to align with a stable mindset. See you then.